you can be sure by the time the black dogs wake up, that is the reason why we're even here. Social media is available to the kids of today because there's nothing else available for them to be exploited by social media, because the government doesn't really have any policy to restrict and regulate what goes out on social media, and so the network organizations too.
Thank you very much, very precise. Okay, we'll move over to this side of the table now. Please feel free to introduce yourself before you go ahead to answer the questions if you want. And kindly take out the bottled water so the camera people can pick your clip. All right, Mr. Bizum Yadok, you're welcome once again. Many analysts consider social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and WeChat as a double-edged sword, having the ability to promote hate and division, and at the same people these two extremes.
Okay. My name, frankly, this place feels like a classroom because I've been learning a lot, more so that I'm a teacher too. With the different social media forms, right? Someone has acknowledged that it has contributed largely in, inciting violence, and at the same time, it is a tool for peace, a sword. And how can we, maximize the potential of these platforms to, for our good? So
new school. Rufai answered that question better than I have heard. He said a lot of younger people feel that when you get older, you leave the space for younger people. That is not democracy. You fight for votes. You have to learn to fight for votes. And as long we have a population that is 60% less than the age of 30, you guys, the numbers you vote for Big Brother, you can make a 35-year-old the president of Nigeria. But if you think I'll be voting for Big Brother and forgetting the presidency, then the older people still getting it. And you can say, oh, they are rigging the election. Guess what? Every election cycle, the rigging becomes more difficult and more difficult. So the real winners will start winning. And the younger generations will win if they seek to win by bringing themselves together. I bet you if you take 10 of the most popular youthful people in Nigeria, the Two Faces and the whoever, say, come vote for this person for president, that person will win that election. And you guys can monitor every election, 774 local governments, and you win them. But the things that you cannot sit there and say, oh, the older people have the money and they have South America, Google Argentina, Brazil, they went through everything we're going through. So that is that. And the second part of your question is about business. I gave an example of a young entrepreneur. If you do the business the first time and it succeeds, you did not do business. Somebody borrowed you money. If you are over, let me use myself as an example. When I went to school in America, everybody's idea was that, oh no, they told us when we got to architecture school that, they don't pass in the licensing exam. The first year I was like, oh man, that's going to be difficult. By the time I got to my second exam, I said, oh shit, I'm going to pass this shit. Sorry, excuse my language, right? I'm a Kuru boy. I'm going to pass. It's not going to. So in fact, I was given an award. My class of 1988 had more licensed architects than any class in the history of my school. Because this thing, Nigerian guys told us, forget this thing. I started my own practice, a very successful practice. I'm not going to brag, but it's to encourage you. A young boy, a guy from a village called Donga in Taraba State, a guy whose parents were just civil servants. I went to America last year. One of my cousins in Nigeria told me that he Googled my name And our company was ranked 8 out of 835 companies in DC. Did we fail along the way? I went to 4 universities. You're saying you started 5 businesses. I went to University of Jos for 1 week. I went to ABU for 1 month. I went to one university in America for 1 year before I ended up in Howard University. Did I give up? No. And my classmates are going to be 2 years ahead of me. Guess what? By the time you have 20 years experience, it doesn't matter if it's 18 or 20. It's the same thing. So we have caught up this that just turned 30. And he won a competition in Dubai. A guy from Argentina won $100 million competition. His fee is going to be 10 million USD. So I'm saying that to fail, if you have never failed in a business, then you have never tried it. You have to keep trying it till you succeed. There's no giving up. If you have that giving up thing, then you just go get a job in the ministry of something.
Okay.
And then take a salary. But this entrepreneur thing, I'm telling you the fact, only 1% of the people in the world, I mean, I know you may sound bad and harsh, only 1% of the people, if you are not part of, if you don't want to be part of that 1%, just go get a government job. Because you will fail, you will cry. I've cried, I've sat, when I left my company, I was my former partner, we were making $100,000 a year. Find out one thing, $1 or 1 naira that every Nigerian want to buy and produce that thing. What is that thing in Nigeria today? Pure water. Everybody that sells pure water is a millionaire. All this Atiku and all these guys, they're selling pure. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. Just keep going.
All right.
Thank you.
A brief rest.
When your generation got the best education we never got, when you graduate and they send you abroad, it's something we have never gotten in my generation. We don't even get the 5,000 scholarship to go to University of Jos. Now, when she's talking about being an entrepreneurship side, there's a Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry. When she goes there now, as a young man, you ask me to Bank of Industry, where will I get collateral to give you? I go to Bank of Industry, I want to enter farming. You tell me to give you a COFO of 250 hectares. Whose village will I go and ransack? Now, your generation have make sure you are putting laws that we will not succeed in this. You should understand where she was coming from. Erufai can come out and say, you go and give us a vote. When you are telling us to go and buy, I'm contesting for House of Reps, and they're telling me I should bring 1.8 million naira for the form, just to contest House of Representatives. Where will I get that source of money? So you people, sorry, not you, sir, the generation ahead of us, you have successfully bonded us in a prison where we can do nothing. And that is why we have to resort to this like social media. People have no sense of it. And that's why we can do anything at any point. And you blame the youth. It doesn't cost us much to vote in Big Brother Nigeria. We have to go watch Big Brother, take off our pressure. You go out there, as I'm talking to you, sir, presently, I'm dealing with Bank of Industry, I'm dealing with Bank of Agriculture, I'm dealing with all this, and admins and all this. One law or the other is just preventing us to move forward. How can we bridge this gap? You have to give us way. Or what? Or new generation of leaders have to go and fix this mess that you have written as law that's preventing us from.
Okay, Mr. Etim, quickly. All right, quickly, please.
It's
getting heated in here.
I'm sorry. It is beautiful. This is what we expect. But let me put it this way. Nobody will give you anything free. Number 2, don't fool yourself. I'm younger generation, this older. Kentucky, KFC, at what age? FCMB, at what age? Please find out. Our own FCMB, at what age? You see, let me tell you the honest truth. Don't sit here and want to be Dangote without voice. I'm very serious. The opportunity he did not get, his own did not get, is what you have, the internet. You don't have any excuse to fail. Number 2, don't ever wake up any day and ask for anything from this country. One of the reasons why Kennedy was killed, this is not the forum. JFK, have you ever read? How many of you have read about JFK here? You see, you hope to make an impact. How do you think you can create something for yourself when you've refused to know where you're coming from? How will you appreciate where you're standing? If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't appreciate where you're standing, you wouldn't even know where you're going. That is the problem. My dear, in this same town, we have more people who have made money from a generation than his own generation at his own time. Got something. In business, after this program, see me. I'll give you an assignment. You either make your money or you lose the opportunity. But don't ever wait and say, old. Let me see. Petroleum. Which year?
It's true.
Good. How many? Bello. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you.
Okay.
That is your passion. Push it. Push it.
All right.
Push it. And you break the glass ceiling.
And it's a 1 minute. Then 1 minute. Wait, I think you've just
Okay,
broken
sorry.
it down or something.
I know her personally, and
Sorry, please. Anita got the ball first. Let her speak, then you speak.
I just want to just correct something that Prince Mado said. You said you're trying to JTA, like you say, where we have a friendship of over 30, 50 years. We can't say 50 years because some of us were born or toddlers around that time. Where if we had the access to the information that was at your hand, a lot of us would be governors. I think our generation is what you would call a wasted generation. Because when we were your age, or when we were now 20, when we were leaving university, we were told that we were the future kids, and I don't think that we've taken anything away from you. Like Mr. Etim addressed, you have to be able to work hard. You've grown up in a period where there's a lot of corruption, so you think everything comes. It doesn't come easy. You've got to work hard. You have to have sleepless nights. You have to hang out and drink and eat less. You have to gossip less. You have to use social media as a more proactive avenue to find different businesses. My fellow colleague, JTA member architect Suleiman, told you about this sugar run. Google it and find out. Okay. You know, so it's proper for you to get your facts straight. Right. It's not us, it is the other generation.
Thank you. All right.
Okay,
so Gabriel, I'm sorry.
Okay. Please, after me, just
Okay. All right.
Please, I'm sorry. So
all right, let's
want
from this other generation.
Yes,
so.
I just want to draw from what he said. You know, I know her. I've seen her, I think, twice or 3 times. Okay. I want to say I'm actually tapping from. I was born in the 80s, okay, early 80s. So I'm kind of, I don't know how old you are, but I'm just guessing maybe around probably the late 80s or early 90s. So I'm tapping from your generation. I'm just saying, because when I went to school, I did architecture. There was no computers and all of that. So I don't, till date, not like I was not interested. I had a switch from architecture, okay? So, but I'm telling you that I'm tapping from your generation. I'm an influencer. Some of them are not 20 yet. I don't know if you know your name, like example, Pamilerin and the likes. We do things. And I'm telling you that Jos is one of the most creative states I have seen in Nigeria. It's the truth. She writes very well. She's a poet. There are poets here. I know people who are making money from writing. If you want some of the links, you write very well, I can give you. Some of people for writing, maybe 1,000 words, 5,000 words, they pay you in dollars. I don't know how to write, unfortunately. I'd have been making money. But if you have these talents, you can use digital to make so much money. Fortune 500 companies today in the world, they are the biggest.
But one thing we should also know is that man must first eat and drink before he can pursue religion, philosophy, and art. You cannot pour from an empty cup. It as a way to bow your head in defeat. Instead, it should fuel your